What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. You guys are piling in bright and early today. We got Albert. Good morning to you. Bill. Good morning. Cheryl. Good morning. Jay, Jennifer, Joe, Lauren, Lou, Lucian, Marius, Mike. We got Mike is in the house. Good morning to you, Peter, Rick, Tim, all my people out YouTube land. Good morning to Clarice, Mari, Mar, all my lurkers in the background. That's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. Yeah, we got some tickers coming in too. You guys are throwing out some tickers. We got some earnings, some kind of wild earnings that came in, but we had some Nvidia news after hours last night. It just kind of stacked on some bullying of the bulls for Nvidia. So pretty wild day for kind of a slow week. Nothing too crazy, but SPY is dropping again after hours. I think that probably does have to relate to a few things. One is continuation just to the downside of just this sell off, which has not been great. Uh, but then I think the Nvidia, I think they're being investigated by DOJ, so they dropped a little bit. And every time Nvidia moves, the market's going to move as well. So we'll see. But SPY is still inside day, so we didn't breach the low of yesterday quite yet. We are at a little bit of support. I think I probably longer term, I think we do pull back further, but I think today at open, I know this sounds crazy, but I think I might want to go bullish. I think I might want to go bullish. It's been like a whole day since I wanted to do that, but we'll see where this thing actually opens. I think anywhere under 550.40, and it's only 3 pennies away. I have one more level that's going to take us to like 549.84. After that, yeah, I think we get some deeper sell-off continuation. It's going to take us down to like 545.78. So that still gives us some room. Also, if you're looking at just some of the volume zones, uh, some of those volume zones, we do have some volume starting to pile in a little bit, but even to the next spot that takes us to this 547 zone. So we're getting there. And then if we get anywhere past this 542.31 longer term, I think that takes us back down clearly to like 528. So still in just some consolidation, some chop. I wouldn't get too bearish quite yet, but clear double top. That was quite the breakdown. Uh, when was August's first day of trading in August? We had this bearish engulfing candle. So here's a little bit different. Little gap and go kind of set up yesterday. We did gap down. The gap was a little bit bigger, but are we kind of not just setting up a little bit like beginning of August? I don't know. Kind of looks like it. Kind of looks like we're setting up a little bit like beginning of August, and we obviously all know how August ended, so we'll see how September wants to end too. Historically, again, bearish month, but right now we are holding a little bit of support. I think we'll see some selling pressure. I don't know if bulls are just full out going to buy dips today. I don't think so. That being said, and we'll take a look at Qs first, but that being said, we're going to take a look at Nvidia just to kind of see where that's at too, because if the market wants to buy some dips, Nvidia's got to get bought up as well. So we'll see the Qs. The Qs are a little bit of a gap down too. This one is slightly past the low of yesterday. Again, you're gonna have a little bit more Nvidia weight into the Qs than you will the SPY, but Nvidia is a big part of the SPY as well. But Qs, that is gapping down a little bit. This is also a retest gap. You're not quite at a support, so that kind of makes me want to just hold the phone for a few minutes after the bell rings. But we'll see what else is setting up. If anything else looks good, otherwise to the downside, 458.12 would be some kind of support. If we get a little bit lower, I'll be looking for like 557.06. That's going to be my key level that I want to hold. So I do think that's probably going to be well protected by the bulls. They're going to try to save it at somewhere, we'll call it 457. So 457, that's a key spot. If we don't hold that one, we're looking for 451, and this selling 451.30. This selling will get probably a little bit more ugly, but I can see it maybe a little bit of a bounce. I think strong resistance is probably about 461.69. So if you want to try to start buying some protection just in case, if you get that bounce into this 461, 69 zone, and then I've got yesterday's VPOC, which I do think we might actually be able to hit this one today too. That would land us at 465.50. So a couple spots just to look for some kind of protection if you don't have it already. Again, the market's been just wild all year where one day it looks like we're about to crash and the next we're hitting all-time highs. So very, very tough. But one of these won't hold. One of these times it won't get that bounce. We'll see. The Bulls will get tired. Uh Jay says, what effect do you think the same the I do think the Jolts number will be big for the market. Yeah, the ISM yesterday, that's typically a nothing burger. Usually, and I don't know. So we got the ISM. We even saw the reaction from the market. We didn't really have a reaction around it. I know everybody on CNBC and if you read like I don't know, Market Watch or whoever else, they're kind of blaming it on ISM. I don't think so. I don't really think that was the catalyst to move it. I think that there was just some tired bulls. We're starting a new month after just a crazy push up, and I think you're getting some profit taking coming in. Um, but jolts will be, I think, more impactful for ISM. So if I'm wrong, where ISM actually was the real catalyst, and that's where everybody was getting scared because it was came in a little bit bigger than expected, and it was almost in line. It wasn't that crazy. Jolts, I think, will have a much bigger effect because that's going to affect interest rates. So be careful of that one coming out at 10 a.m. with Jolts. We'll see. Uh, that being said, Nvidia. So pre-market, I think we got a little bit lower. Let's see where we landed pre-market. That took us down to what time was this? This is 4:15. Oh yeah, this is after hours. So this is that after hours move when the and so we got to the low of 104.59, kind of a dangerous zone. Nvidia though managed to climb back up already. So if you get some kind of pullback, watch for 105.84. So about a slightly less than a dollar. See if we can get some kind of support in there. Otherwise, the next support will probably take us back into this 104.70 zone, 104.69, somewhere right around there. But this is also a retest gap, so kind of makes sense. If anybody was shorting, this is a big day to short. You had also one, two inside days, so we'll call it three, 4 days of people selling Nvidia, and then you got this little gap down. Some of those shorts might be looking to take some profits here. So I think Nvidia gets some kind of a bounce today. We'll get this one a little bit higher on the list as well. All right, let me see. We got some tickers. So we got BABA, we got Hood, BABA, and we have AMD bouncing too. I think they had news of one. I think BlackRock was buying. So I think BlackRock is buying AMD. I think they also stole somebody from Nvidia, one of the key players from Nvidia. So I think you have a little bit of positive news. I'm still in there short on the swing, so we'll see what happens on that. We got BABA, so that one is gapping up a little bit. Right now, opening into a resistance. Yesterday was a gap down, green candle, so there was some buying into this one. Still inside day. I think we get a pullback on this one, just depending on where we open. If we get open a little bit higher, so let's call it 83 or higher, we might get a little pop up, but that's going to take us to like 83.29. So nothing too crazy on that one. We've just been chopping in the zone for a little bit, so pretty decent support. I think 82.19, and then we got that resistance somewhere around 83.30. So I don't know if I see a huge movement today on BABA. If we get anywhere past, I would have to get a little higher. Probably anywhere past 83.43. Maybe that takes us up into this like 85.40 zone. And even that's not going to be easy. We still have struggle bus at like 84.23. So not a big runway on this one. Unless we start just going crazy and just breaking through things. But for at least at open, I don't have a reason to believe that we are going to do that. And it just looks a little choppish. Hood. Good. Yeah, I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Man, it feels like Tuesday. So yeah, any days that I say, if I'm like, hey, yeah, back on Monday, back on Tuesday, back on Friday, all those days are going to be wrong. Just scoot them over another day because I definitely feel like today is Tuesday. All right, we got market gapping down on Hood. Uh, this one looks like it's got more room down to 1874, but I think we probably get that bounce first. So I don't know if I'd be completely maybe a green candle. Give me some kind of green candle at open to take a breakdown, and then we'll check out the pre-market on this one too. Bitcoin was getting clobbered yesterday as well. I think Coinbase is down a heck of a lot. But Robinhood, I guess if you're starting to break $19, you could probably play it to the downside. Otherwise, I'd see if we get some kind of a retest into 1930. Maybe we have a magical move to like 1939. Those two spots would be decent. Otherwise, we looks like we do have some room to the downside still on Robinhood. But with a retest gap, probably wouldn't be the first one. And you're opening at a little bit of support. If that breaks, that would take me just on the volume zones to like 1862. And yeah, kind of looks like a double top. Good retest. Even 50% of this move from this August drop to where we took to, yeah, that takes me to about 1846. So not a huge range, but I think to the short side, you could get some decent moves if you're patient and see if you get maybe up to like 1934. So we'll split the difference on that. Let's see, we got ZS. Zscaler. Yeah, they're getting clobbered. Clobbered on good earnings. So good earnings. They beat by 24% on earnings per share by 17 cents. They also came in with 25 million above expectation on the report. The I think was it them that also increased their divvies? Or no, they don't have divvies, right? There's one company that had divvies too, but I believe they had a downgrade, lowered guidance, and just absolutely getting clobbered on a good report. This I think will get bought up too. I don't know where targets go to, but the spot that I would be looking for first, 162.27. I don't have much there in terms of specific volume, except for one little key volume spot. Maybe that could break, and if that can, that would probably take us up to like 164.82. So about $4 to the higher side. I do have a little bit of support on this one, slightly lower, 157.84. So that would be, do we hit that? Pre-market. We got to 158, so close to it. You do have this double bottom, but this is a lot of bulls being trapped. So I can see the short side on this thing too. I would just want to short higher. I'd want to, I might not necessarily want to play this thing bullish, but I think we get some kind of a potential bounce from here. And then look for that, I don't know, 164 zone, 164.35. Same thing on the short side of things. I think we probably struggle somewhere around that zone, and that might be a better opportunity to hop in short on this one after just down $33 pre-market on this one, which is crazy. All right, let's see what else we got. Asana, ASAN. Asana. Is this earnings too? I didn't know they had earnings. They had to have guided down. This is the one where the CEO just buys up every share possible, I think, right? He just every quarter he's just buying shares. But nice beat on earnings per share. They surprised beat by 36.5%. They beat by 1.277 million on the revenue. I don't know, but I'm guessing it's guidance. So they had a neutral rating on Asana and cut the price target to $12. Where are we at now? So okay, they cut the price to slightly higher than we're at. Morgan Stanley lowered its target to 14, and Bard reduced it to 13. Bank of Securities set its target at 16. All those targets are higher than where we're at, but looks like they're all kind of coming down. That looks like a rough gap. That looks like a rough gap. I think this one actually probably heads lower. I don't know how easy this one is to short. I haven't really day traded this one too much. I think once. I think there was that one time. But that looks horrific. Also, a little bit of a retest gap. I don't know how excited I'd be to short this thing at 11.39, but that's the first spot I would look. Maybe get a little bit higher into like this 11.92, close to $12 mark, and that does come in where that downgrade slash upgrade came in. Um, that is a retest gap. On a really good day, if the entire market just flips and we're just crazy bullish by the end of today, maybe we get to like 12.24, and a really good spot is 12.58, but that looks rough. That this does not look like a fun day for bulls on Asana. We'll watch that one for sure. NKE, Nike. I don't really have any support holding me up. I think we come lower. Last key spot we got a breakthrough is about $80.45, and then I think it's a clear shot down to 79. And then most likely even back to where we kind of set this bullish entry up, and this was all pre-gap and all that fun stuff. But uh pretty massive move. It's got a little bit of volume to maybe hold this thing together. Otherwise, we're starting to build all that volume above us. That's going to be some kind of resistance up until like the 82.28 zone. Is this one also a retest? It is a retest for today. So again, I kind of do like everything short. I just think we need some kind of a bounce somewhere. So out of the gate, I'd actually probably be a little bit more bullish, and then see if we could flip that somewhere during the day. Riley, B. Riley, nice bullish engulfing candle yesterday. Again, I'm not sure on volume on this one. I don't day trade this one, or I haven't day traded this one. Doesn't mean we can't. It is above $5. We got a bullish engulfing candle. Looks like we're opening right into resistance. If we could break, I think, the high of yesterday's candle, maybe that could take us on a really good day, probably to 643. A really crazy day would be about 730. So otherwise, nice double bottom, bullish engulfing candle, at least where you wanted it. Potential reversal sign. And then we got gap fill for later. Let's see if there's any volume. Yeah, for today, maybe we get to like 676. Just still a really nice move. Still a really good move for a $5 stock, $6 stock. And then I think we have to really break this $9 mark. Go break $9 would be good. Earnings come out for them, which I don't know really, but looks like we got October 24th, so we still got some time on that one. Maybe a decent swing, but this trend is the trend is completely bearish. But maybe we're looking for a gap fill if we're trying to swing this one. SMCI. Do. YouTube, you guys are real quiet today. You guys are real quiet on YouTube today. SMCI is gapping down, looks a little bit weak. Yesterday was a retest gap. A really good spot. If I don't know what this one wants to do at open, I would have a suspicion that we come down a little bit lower back to this 412.92. Like I said on SMCI before, though, if I'm looking at some of that volume zone, you kind of don't want to break 407.01. That would take us back to 334. It's not a great strong level. And then I could see us getting back to like this 293 zone on SMCI. So I think we definitely have some more room to the downside. This does look still short. That's not a great gap. I do have to put this one on the list higher. But 412 is going to be a pretty key spot. Not 412, 414. Not even, yeah, 414.31-ish. Is that right? Maybe come even lower, 413.32. If we can get a good green candle, high wave, something like that, we could go short. I prefer it short. That's 3 days worth of resistance above us that we're kind of gapping below. So I do like that one. Shop and LUV. Shop also a little bit of a retest gap. We're kind of right in the middle between support resistance on this one. So if we could get bid up to, I think, a really strong resistance on this one, would be 71.21. So we get some bids up to there. That would be the spot to go short. If we come down a little bit, 69.61. So if the bell rings and it just falls flat, look for a little bit of support, 69.61. I don't know if I have much edge on this one besides flipping a coin. Get out that handy magic quarter to flip, and that's how you would play this one at the beginning of the day. Otherwise, I'd look to go short up higher, 71.15, and then I'd look to go make a stand to go long somewhere around 69.56. So we will see on that one. LUV. LUV. And again, the the question has been answered every single time this year. Are the buy the dippers still in this market? And the answer has been yes. So is this time different? I don't know. I don't know, but we might need that a little bit more of a bigger pullback. We'll see. LUV is just hanging out. We should have support. We're kind of close to it. We tried this one yesterday. We set one entry up. We didn't get filled. We set it up again. I think we made about half R, and then it almost went to targets, missed us by 2 pennies. I don't love the fact that we're now opening at 29.44, but you do have a little bit of support. So I wouldn't even probably try to play this one, just kind of where we're at on it. But if I was, I'd actually try to see if we get to like 28.95. Maybe throw a stop in at 28.62, and then 60 cents up from there takes me to 29, like 55, something like that. Maybe even that one's a little too wide, but that's 2 hours. So I would like this one to sell off a little bit more. Something like that would be decent. Oxy for a fade up, and then we got JD and Coin. Yeah, I saw JD too. That was acting a little strange today. It had a little gap up. I don't know if it's still holding, but Oxy, I would not try to play the fade on this one, Lucian. Um, and I'm in it. I got shares. I'm going down with the Warren Buffett ship though. But 55, 59, he was buying shares for a long time. Almost every single month. He hasn't done it in a while, so he might be kind of maxed on his position. Or he's going to need a bigger drop to start buying again. That being said, I'm looking for 59, 59, 55, 59 as some kind of target to the high side if you're going to try to play this fade. But otherwise, it kind of looks pretty shortable to me. So I'd like to see some kind of move up to 55, 59. And then I think looking for the short for me. I don't know if I'd want to play that one. JD, real virtual advance, a slow week. I don't know. I don't know. Volatility is definitely back. I thought we were gonna wait like till next Monday for volatility to kick in. No, this market, it was waiting. It was exciting. Is there news on JD? Because I don't know. Alibaba's domestic e-commerce platforms will begin accepting Tencent's WeChat Pay. And that was 5 hours ago. Everything else was yesterday. Uh, it's an interesting gap on JD. We're still definitely in this consolidation zone, so that takes a little edge away. The next resistance on this one, which we're gapping above some pretty good support. I would love to see a little pullback. Looking for like a 26.97 buy if you like it long. Somewhere in that zone. To the higher side, we have this one annoying resistance, 27.24. I don't know if I can make a lot getting into this 27.24 zone, but if we can start to break out of that, that's when we have our trade. Then I can see a move to like 28.21, and I'd be out there. I just don't know. I don't know how much weight I could put on this resistance. We already came through. We did break through it once. Kind of came back for the retest. So if I could get it a little bit lower, I could get a little bit better risk to reward on the trade. But I would have to be under the belief, and it could break this level because we did that before. But if we could break that, then we have a really nice trade on JD. We got Coinbase. Yep, selling continues on Coinbase. At a little bit of support. We're not that there's going to be a lot of bulls to defend it, but there should be some bulls kind of defending this thing at open. If we start breaking down, I think next target takes us to about 160, so about $9 lower, $8 lower from pre-market. No, take me to 160. If that breaks, we got 155 on the horizon. But it still looks weak. And Bitcoin's not looking great. Not at the moment. But again, this is also still a retest gap, so I wouldn't be surprised if we could get an opportunity to actually go short somewhere closer to like 175.70. We have some kind of support down here. So this one maybe I'd play a fade on. I might look for a fade on this one as a retest and then see if we can get out at like 175. Would be interesting. AVGO. And nobody's breaking up the Dollar Trees. Dollar Tree is getting slammed. Dollar General is getting slammed. AVGO. Broadcom. Retest gap at the 100. This is one I'd probably look for a fade. Especially if we get one quick little hammer, high wave candle, something like that. I think AVGO could go on the list for fade right at that 100. You got support sitting at 148.31. Targets on this one taking you to about 154. So you got a little bit of room to the higher side. Not bad there. So potential bounce. We got some time. Let's take a look at Tesla because I see some green candles happening on Tesla right now. Still above the 200. Honestly, Tesla kind of held up pretty good yesterday comparatively to everything else. We're also opening above a key support. I do have my next resistance at 211.46, but most of this was just kind of a retest gap. We hit all those support levels. Pre-market, we were down to like 207, 208. I was a little more worried, but with us kind of coming back a little bit, Tessie at open might be interesting too if we get a fun setup. I wouldn't mind trying that one again. And I do think most of the market, we're sitting in a retest gap. So if Tesla was strong yesterday and the market does kind of even just want to retest, we might have the opportunity on Tesla for that one. Marvell and ARM. Ooh, I'm thinking short. I'm thinking out of the gate we do get a retest. I don't think we actually retest 69.84 on this one. I don't know, but I don't think so. We're below some key levels. ARM we'll get to in a second, but everybody on YouTube land, that is the morning opening bell. So I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Stay safe. Market is going to get crazy.